Hey YouTube, this next diecast review will be on Scott McLaughlin's 2021 PPG Chevrolet for Team Penske. On his oval debut at the Texas Motor Speedway, this is the Texas car by the way, it is on the regular Firestone Firehawk tires, and it's not on the Indy 500 special tires, so we can definitely call this the Texas version. However, there's one thing that's inaccurate about this car compared to the Texas car. There is supposed to be no number on the rear wing, and there's a number on the rear wing of this car. That's the only inaccuracy to my current knowledge and no car shop logo, but we can still safely call this the Texas car. This is the car that Scott McLaughlin took it to Scott Dixon, and he nearly beat him. P2 on oval debut Texas Race 1, if I dare say so myself. He impressed the living hell out of everybody. Scott McLaughlin is a rookie in the IndyCar series, but he's damn well known down under in Australia for his excellence in supercar racing. I followed supercars closely because of Scott McLaughlin. He was easily my favorite supercars driver. And I might as well say that's because I'm biased towards Team Penske, and I was like, I gotta root for the Scott McLaughlin guy. And Scotty McLaughlin was a hell of a racer in supercars, and he transferred his knowledge over to IndyCar. It's been quite a rocky start for him, as we expected, but as we would expect out of a rookie, he will develop into a world-class driver, as if he's not so already. I mean, you don't win 17 supercar races in a season based off of luck. This guy is talented, and this guy will win races and ultimately championships for Roger Penske. And I will dare say that this is the most beautiful packaging out of one of the ugliest packaging designs I've ever seen for IndyCar. And this added a lot of color to something that is dull and boring. And this packaging could use some color, and it did. It got some color. It's got the rainbow colors for the PPG colors on the box, where it's supposed to be the one solid color for every other car. You got Scott McLaughlin's name. You got the blue number 3 to signify the PPG car. The other cars they're making the Dex Imaging car, and they're also making the car shop car, but to my knowledge, those are 118 only on the road course kit as of right now. But if we do get the 164s, you best believe we'll be doing reviews on them. Also, not for you kids. Just kidding. They don't age check anybody. I literally have seen kids buy Fuzzy's Vodka cars at the track. So don't get all bent out of shape with the ages 14 and up logo. I don't know why Greenlight did that. But the back of the box, you can see the driver's car with the Scott McLaughlin's information. There's a whole bunch of rainbow paint splatter where that looks absolutely beautiful. On the packaging, looks absolutely dull and boring. But you got mainly blue, which is the color for PPG for Scott McLaughlin. And you got the IndyCar hologram. And you got all the useful links there to go do your IndyCar shopping. I don't really recommend buying from IMS because they upcharge for shipping, and it's quite tragic. But anyways, let's take this thing out of its box and begin the diecast review of the Scott McLaughlin PPG car. Alright, now that I took this thing out of its box and single-handedly destroyed the value of this car, you can definitely go check this out in Joe Donahue's YouTube IndyCar series in the near future, as I will be giving him this car personally. You will be able to see the driver's card right here, and you can pause it at any time to take a look at the driver information. You'll definitely see all of his accomplishments in supercar racing. He was an absolute god in supercars. And let's go over this car here. Now, I'm glad they changed up the PPG livery, and it needed an upgrade for quite some time. Normally, it goes after the typical Penske liveries for IndyCar, and they went with the PPG car on Joseph Newgarden for a couple years, and it copied the same livery concept. But they changed it up this year. I'm glad they added a lot more color to it, and it just looks It's a real oddball compared to the other Penske cars, which are uniform, but I like it. It's really it really is a vibrant and a really dazzling looking race car. And this should have been a race winner at Texas. I was screaming at the TV for Scott McLaughlin to pass Scott Dixon. Scott Dixon's a hell of a racer, but you know what? I was looking to see a new guy win, and my God, Scotty McLaughlin almost did it. But let's see here. Let's go over some sponsors here. We got Verizon on the front wings here. We got Dallara, we got Shell, we got Pennzoil, we got Chevrolet, we got NTT IndyCar Series, we got number 3, we got PPG, we got Scott McLaughlin's name on the aero screen, and on the side of the aero screen we got the Chevrolet logos. Hitachi is on the front wing plates. Let's zoom in here. Let's see. We got PPG. We got Shelby Power Nitro Plus. And I noticed too. Okay, so here's something that's really, really cool. The paint lines actually, at least on my diecast, I don't know about anybody else's, but it looks like it has some sort of texture to it. Like it actually has like its own texture to the spit it out, Rob. The paint lines. When you guys work 9 to 5 like I do, you'll be able to realize at the end of the day, my ability to speak English is just absolutely atrocious. So bear with me if these reviews sound kind of like slow, because my brain can't process some of these words properly. So anyways, but the paint lines have their own texture to them. As we'll zoom out here, let's get an overall view here at the top of the car. This part right here, at least on my diecast, has some sort of texture to it. Like it's not a perfect smooth type of feel to it, which A+ job on Greenlight for doing that. Normally we don't, I mean, I know Greenlight is one of those companies that will do multiple textures per car. It's not like you pick one finish. You don't pick and choose. They will give you what's on the actual car, or they'll make it something of their own and make it look more appealing. And for this one, they actually went the distance, and at least for my particular diecast, I don't know for anybody else's, there's an actual texture or a different feel where the paint splatters are, and I gotta say, absolute A+ job on Greenlight for doing that. Credit is due where credit is earned, and they earned the credit for that. But the decaling is something they could do better. Like here with the NTT IndyCar Series logo, the decaling could be a little bit better with that. Got number 3, you got Speedway, PPG, P1 Award NTT Firestone, got the Chevrolet logo here, PPG Snap-on, Penske Truck Rental, but that should have been turned to Car Shop, or Car Shop should have been right here, lower by the engine cover. Number 3, sorry my camera work is a little crappy tonight, PPG on the rear wings. And yes, they do have yellow stripes on the gearbox to signify that Scott McLaughlin is a rookie. When they used to have the old DW12s with the aero kits, they used to have yellow numbers on the Hondas, and on the Chevrolets, when they had the inserts and there was a big hole inside of it, inside the hole here they had a yellow number. And when the old DW12 had it, they just had the rear bumper guards, and they had the yellow number inside of it. But since there are no bumper guards anymore, they just stick the yellow on the gearbox. So I really also got to give credit to Greenlight for accuracy on the gearbox. That is another thing that they earned a plus on. A minus, though, however, is the fact that there's supposed to be no number here. But my suggestion here is, I think that was a last-minute change that most of the IndyCar teams made. So I think I ought to cut Greenlight some slack, because this came out really late because it was sitting on a boat in China. But this was approved back in February, March, when they had numbers on the car. So I kind of have to give Greenlight a little bit of slack on that one, because they changed the number. They changed that literally last minute at Texas back in May. So I think we ought to cut them a little bit of leeway on that one. But still, it's inaccurate. This side is the same as the left. So, in my personal opinion, this is the top 5 car to get this year. I will say that Elio will be number 1. That's just my biased opinion. Me being a diehard Cash Nevis fan all my life, I think that's literally going to be the most important diecast of my life. That 500 winner. But if you want to talk about ones that, you have to stop what you're doing at the end of this video right now and purchase this car off of Team Penske's website, this is the one to do so. This is one of the hottest looking cars on the grid, and I think that everybody who is remotely a Scott McLaughlin fan should have this in their collection. It is an absolute no-brainer. It is a wonderful piece of diecast, and I really appreciate that Greenlight went all out and they added some texture to this car. It adds more to a car that already has a lot on it. It's not one of those single color cars that is kind of just dull and, kind of just there. This is really vibrant and out of this world. And you got something like here, like you got a glossy blue here. Then you got some texture here where the paint job is. I'm not on drugs. I can feel something here. And you got a solid blue and a paint splatter of all multi-different colors. And you got a paint splatter on the rear engine cover. It almost looks like an art project rather than a die-cast. Or rather than a livery. And I really do appreciate the fact that Greenlight went all out to make this. And the gradients, I can't tell if they're 100% accurate or whatnot, but it looks accurate to me. And also, another shout out to Greenlight here for getting this right. Team Penske on the gearbox, that is correct. And another thing hallelujah, that they did not screw up on, the Penske chrome suspension. It is not a Penske car without a chrome suspension. And they did a phenomenal job on that one as well. But here we go. Let's give you an overall view of the car here. I mean, the pictures do not do its justice. You need to stop what you're doing right now and pick up this car because, oh my God, it is an absolute beauty. And another criticism of Greenlight here, the tires here are a little bit skewed. Not 100% perfect, but, I purposely pick out. I purchased two of each because I have one for my personal collection. I purposely pick out the one that's a little bit screwed up or a little bit screwy for the review because I like to take it out and I just give it to Joe for his IndyCar series and he loves them. So don't bother him, don't bother me, and everybody's happy. So there you have it. This diecast is absolutely beautiful. There's no need to give it a rating. It's a perfect score. It's a perfect 10 out of 10. Great job by Greenlight on multiple different parts of this car. I will give them credit where credit is due, and they did a great job on this one. They really have nailed it, minus a few little deficiencies. But overall, they didn't do a bad job on this car. I'm really impressed with it. Here's 360 view of this car. Here's the left side. Here's the front. Here's the right side. There's the back. There's the top of the car. And this is production number 1131. So, ladies and gentlemen, please comment, like, and subscribe. This is Race Day 12, reminding you to join the fight to stop bullying. It does get better. And also, just a reminder, get yourself vaccinated. And when you go out, please wear a mask, people. It's the right neighborly thing to do. See ya. Bye-bye.